Well, my name is Maria Castillo. I am a senior linguistics major, so commonly found walking around campus, speaking to people in different languages whenever I can. So I'm all about learning about different languages, different cultures, and right now I'm thinking quite a bit about jobs after graduation because that is something that you ultimately need to be preparing for even when you're a freshman. That might sound kind of early to be thinking about jobs and career prep when you're a freshman and a sophomore, but it's still super important to keep that on the front of your mind. So today we're going to talk about having fun, enjoying your summer, but at the same time looking for ways to prepare professionally for what you're going to be doing for internships, for jobs, and especially when you graduate. So how can you prepare even right now for where you'll be after Cedarville? Let's take a look. So we're going to talk about what career services does, the different services that are offered. I'm also going to explain to you the Big Five and what that means, how you can implement that into your life. I want to hear about your guys' summer plans, of course. We're excited for that. What are our goals as well? How can we have specific goals that we can achieve because they're detailed and they're measured and they're attainable? We're going to have fun today. I think bubble tea is really fun. You guys are already getting to enjoy that, hopefully. How to look and act professionally. I'm going to explain to you what the elevator pitch is and how you can have your own elevator pitch, the follow through once you've made a connection with someone, and of course, thanking God for the opportunities He's given you. Let's get started. All right, services that Career Services has available to students. So raise your hand if you've ever been into our office. All right, that's most of you. So if you don't know where our office is located, it's right down that way, right across from admissions. So we're in a very central location, easy for us to access and help you guys. So as you probably know, we offer career fairs. We also have resume reviewers. We have Handshake, which is an online job board. So if you have any questions about these things, you can come make an appointment with us. And for example, on Handshake, it keeps you as a freshman unless you manually change it. So it's important to know how to use Handshake because otherwise when you're a junior, senior, even a sophomore, then employers will see that you're a freshman if you haven't changed it. So come to us, let us tell you about how those things work. We also have mock interviews, so if you have an interview with a job coming up soon and you need to get some practice for that, then you can have a practice interview with us. We'd love to help you in that area. We have major exploration. Let's say that you're an underclassman who doesn't know your major, what your career prospect looks like, or maybe you're a junior or senior who still doesn't know what you want to do, so we can help you with that. We have career counseling, of course, job internship help, LinkedIn, grad school, salary negotiation, and of course rooms you can rent as well. Those are super helpful. We do recommend students to give us about a week of lead time if you want to reserve a room, but sometimes you'll get lucky on the day of and it's still available. But just of course be prepared and let us know how we can best help you. Follow us on Instagram if you haven't already. We have a lot of fun reels and informational videos and posts, and we also have giveaways on there. So you will never know what you might win if you're following us and participating in our surveys. And you might even be featured yourself if you have a story you'd like to share with us. We would love to celebrate with you and share that with others. All right, the Big Five. It takes more than a degree and a glossy GPA. Do you know what I mean by this? Does this sound familiar? What do you think I'm getting at here? So I'm saying not just having a 4.0, but what should you get? It's a word that starts with an E. Experience, yes, get experience. I would say that having experience is a lot better than just having a 4.0 GPA, and I know a lot of employers would agree with that. Maybe you can be a 4.0 student and be super involved. I know I couldn't do that, so it just kind of depends on the person. But get experience, look for professional development, look to shadow individuals in the field that could give you advice for where you're hoping to go. Create a standout resume. I'm not talking about the templates you can find on Google. So come see us so we can help you. You can make an appointment with us. Networking is key. Mr. Reap encourages us to have 100 connections by graduation. But if that freaks you out, then just shoot for maybe a more attainable goal of 5 or 10 connections per year. And I would also suggest that you make a spreadsheet that will keep track of the contact information, maybe how you met the person, the last time you were in touch with this person, and then their profession, what their job title is, because that will just kind of keep it more organized. And this could be anywhere from family members to professors to your boss in high school. It really could be anybody. Learn the procedure. What's the game plan? How do you approach conversations about jobs? How do you approach conversations about professional opportunities? And take advantage of your resources. You guys are already doing that because you're here today. So little shout out to you guys for being here and taking this opportunity to grow professionally. So the reason why I'm presenting all these places on here is because these are all potential places where you could meet somebody that can help you in your career goals, or maybe even be your future boss. You never know. So these are just ideas to think of, that when you're going to these places, to have a prepared mentality of the people that you might come across, that you're ready to strike up a conversation, and even just the way you present yourself too, which we'll talk more about this, but just being open, the way you're walking, don't walk around like this, or, looking at my phone or whatever. Like, look around and make eye contact with people, even if you strike up a simple conversation of like, oh, I see that you have this t-shirt on that says something like, I went to that camp. Even something as simple as that, you never know where it might lead. Let's talk about goals. Raise your hand if you've heard of the SMART goals. Yeah, if you did the physical health fitness class, maybe in your freshman year or some other point, you probably talked about SMART goals. So specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-oriented. I've found that for me personally, it's a lot harder to actually get things done if I don't have it on a set timetable, and if I don't have specific purposes for those goals. That's kind of like, oh, I want to get my homework done. Okay, well, when are you going to get your homework done? How are you going to do it? Are you going to do it with friends, or you'll probably be studying but not getting a lot done? Or will you reserve a room in the library for 3 hours and just put your earbuds in, be by yourself, and really get a lot done? Every person's different with their studying habits, but you can see the difference of how specifying, giving time restraints can help you to be a lot more productive. Right, so setting a specific date and then determining certain methods that you'll use to reach that goal is key. And career services is open during the summer. I had a resume appointment with someone just today who said, I did not know you guys were open during the summer. Surprise! We are here to help you whenever you need us. But just remember, it's Monday to Friday, 8 to 5. So if you call us at midnight, nobody's going to answer. So yes, we're happy to help you whenever we're open. And actually, one of my good friends here, Eliza, suggested making the spreadsheet of having the contact info of your connections on it. So she inspired me in that way. Thank you. That's really helpful. Okay. How can you specifically reach your goals? I actually have a personal story with this. So if you're setting a specific time on certain days to study up on your interests, that's what I've been doing quite a bit this semester. I'm a graduating senior, needing to find opportunities, and I would just find little time windows within my day, which, by the way, Google Calendar is a lifesaver. If you guys don't have it, maybe you'll want to consider using it. So any time where I just had 30 minutes or even an hour free in my day, I seriously just Googled places that were in the area where I was going to be living, and I just did a bunch of cold calls. I know some people maybe are intimidated by that, but you don't have to explicitly say, hey, can I have a job with you? You can just say, tell me about your company. What are some ways that I could be more prepared in the field I'm hoping to be involved in, stuff like that. And then they might be able to tell you, well, actually, you sound like you could be a great candidate for us. But when you make those calls, it's not like you're explicitly saying, I want a job. That's not the first thing you say. Kind of get to know each other. And don't be frustrated if it seems like it's a bit of a lengthy process too. I've had some employers I've been in touch with where they just don't respond in the most prompt manner, and don't lose hope in that, because God has a purpose, and if you're seeking that the Lord would direct you when you're going to these different places and when you're calling these people, God, I'm believing that the person that you want me to talk with is going to answer the phone. I'm believing that if I'm supposed to work with them, that you're just going to open the doors to do that for your glory. He's going to do that. He's going to do that. So rest in confidence. Investigate the responsibilities of the job positions that you might be looking for. Maybe you see something on the job list that is not fun or interesting to you. You might realize, I wanted to have XYZ position, but when I look at the requirements, I realize I really don't want to do that. You never know. So it's important to look that up. Read as much as you can about a company that you might be wanting to work at as well. See what their values, their purpose, their mission statement is. And then we love LinkedIn, Handshake, Indeed, all of those sites, because it gives you a lot of key information. which as a note there, if you need to work on your LinkedIn profile, let us know. We'd be more than happy to help you with that. And identify the gaps in the job requirements and qualifications and see how you can meet those requirements. Do you need to gain some more experience? Do you need to get certified in a certain quality or trait that you don't have? And of course, stepping outside of your comfort zone is a big one as well. Talk with people who are older than you, who have experience in the field you want. That includes your professors or even maybe upperclassmen here who've gotten an internship at a place that you'd like to get an internship at as well. You have a lot of close resources around you that can be very helpful. Have fun. Yeah, some of this might seem kind of overwhelming, but ultimately this is very exciting because if you think about it this way, I am finding where the Lord wants to use me for His glory to bless others. I want to go where He wants me to go, where I can make the most of the gifts that He's given me to glorify Him, to expand His kingdom. And I think that's very exciting. So you guys have a lot to be excited about. So try to resist the temptation to be stressed and think, oh, this is so overwhelming. I don't want to do this. And in fact, it's very exciting and that you're blessed that you have a college education and you're very prepared for the positions that you'll be looking at. So interview a more experienced family or friend about a few different topics. You can ask them for advice that they would give their younger self, for example, pros and cons of their job position, and maybe steps they would recommend for you to take moving forward, and opportunities you can take while being in college as well. So I would say that, for example, looking for ways to have leadership roles in an org. I know Rachel has some leadership roles in MISO. So looking for ways to get plugged in, of course, SGA, campus experience, things like that are all very helpful for you in just gaining the social skills, the professional skills, all of that for your future job. Invite a person out to coffee or a meal. And try not to ask them questions just to ask them questions or sound smart. Ask them questions because you're truly interested in them, and that also shows you value them as a person. You want to hear their opinion, their perspectives, and it shows that you're also honoring them as well because you want to hear their advice. You realize that they are experienced and that you can gain a lot from hearing what they have to say. Seek to be an active listener. That's something I have to work on because I like talking a lot. But when you realize that the other person is created in the image of God and that they have a lot of experience and a lot of value from your interaction with them, then it will help you to not be as tempted to talk so much, but when you listen, that you can actually gain quite a bit of knowledge and information and also grow in your relationship with that person as well. And it gives you confidence as well as interacting with others. So let's say maybe you're intimidated by talking with a potential employer or a future boss. Well, maybe just try talking with a family member or an older friend or someone from your church who's a professional. Then that will give you a bit of practical experience that doesn't feel so scary. Okay. Also, too, I got to mention this one. All right, you guys have all seen the big tours of people on campus and people in the line, people in trucks. We got some chicken here. Oh, there's pizza. Oh, there's a salad bar. And they just have no idea what they want, right? Or they're talking a bunch in line, or maybe they're moving line to line, or maybe they don't know how to do self-serve anything. So instead of thinking, oh, these darn visitors, they're making everything go slower, think to yourself, okay, I can show them that I'm welcoming them on campus. I'm excited that they're here today. And see if you can encourage them somehow and get to know a little bit about them. So instead of being frustrated, see it as an opportunity to be kind to them and see if they have any questions. And who knows, they could end up being a future professional connection for you. I actually had that happen while I was working in the career services office. This woman came in and her daughter was interested in psychology, so the daughter started talking with one of our student workers who's in psychology, and I started talking with a mom, and I found out that the mom was a Cedarville student whose roommate was a linguistics major, which is my major, and the woman actually has Spanish minor, so she spoke Spanish, and I think she was in a leadership position in some sort of a medical company. But she initiated wanting to add me on LinkedIn. She has 500 plus connections. She said she'd love to stay in touch with me, and I was just blown away. So it's like, wow, this is some random mom coming into the office, and you never know. Like, we just started speaking in Spanish together, and it was so cool. So Look at every person as an opportunity to encourage them. Something my mom tells me is leave a person better than you find them. So even though you might feel like I'm just a student, I'm 19, 20, 21, however old you are, I don't have any experience. How could I benefit the person I'm interacting with? Maybe they just need to have somebody who's a good listener. Maybe they can feel encouraged and supported if you're just listening to them and showing that you care. Or maybe they don't have faith, or maybe their faith is suffering, and your faith will encourage them to push on and pursue their relationship with Christ. You never know how you can encourage someone. God will use you too, and God will use the other people in your lives as well. Just have hope and confidence in that. All right, you have to look the part. So I've heard students say, oh, it's so expensive to look nice, and like, where do you get nice businessy clothes? It's really not expensive. You just have to know where to shop. So I see a lot of ladies out here. I know that guys also have opportunities to get stuff, but obviously I don't know where to get guys' clothes. So anyways, especially Clothes Mentor for the ladies is a great place to go. They have very nice dresses. Like you can get dresses, I don't know if my pointer's working, but anyways, you can get dresses like this from Clothes Mentor or Burlington Coat Factory. Personally, I really love Calvin Klein dresses. They fit very nice, a lot of nice colors and designs. They're modest, they go to your knees and stuff. And I got that one for like $20 or something. Like, if you don't buy them from the website because they're a lot more expensive, but you can get them at Clothes Mentor, Burlington Coat Factory, anything like that for a very reasonable price. I would highly recommend that. And of course, Marshalls, TJ Maxx, Burlington Coat Factory, that can be for guys and for girls. You might even find stuff on the Cedarville clothing line. I've actually gotten some good clothes from there. So, your fellow Cedarvillians could have great clothes for you that you may not know about. Thrift shops are great too. You never will know what you come across there. So it's really not too hard. Sometimes even seeing like influencers pages on Instagram of like, oh, I really like this person's style. You might want to follow them and get some outfit inspiration. Or, if you have a friend that you really like how they dress, ask them where they shop. Little steps like that are very helpful.
Maria, can I add something?
Go for it.
I'm Jenny Cerniak, the Associate Director of Career Services, Resume Coordinator, real quick. But we take all of our student workers, except for the guys, usually every fall, sorry guys, to the Clothes Mentor, and we shop because they have to dress up a little bit in our office when they come to work. So everybody always ends up with something. We end up at probably Panera or somewhere fun to eat, but it really is a great place to find cheap stuff.
Yes. Something else I was going to mention too, I kind of touched on, I think I got a bit carried away, is the spark. Okay, what do I mean by the spark? That's when you see somebody and they just have joy and light in their face, and you can tell that they're a follower of the Lord. Some people walk around and they have a no face. They're just, kind of just like they're constantly annoyed and frustrated. And even if you are having a stressful day, try not to be that person or just have a pouty look on your face, because that says a couple of things. It says that you probably don't want to talk with the person. It says that you're probably having a hard time, and that you're just not open to have a relationship or interaction with a person. So really be careful to just, even if you're not constantly smiling like this, but don't be frowning. Don't be frowning, because then it's a lot harder for you to approach someone, a lot harder for someone else to approach you. And why not smile? I had somebody tell me once, Maria, you smile too much. And I was like, that's a weird thing to say to somebody, but I'll take it. I guess it's a good thing to be smiling. And on the days where you don't feel like you can smile, where you don't feel like you have that joy and confidence, ask God to help you, because it's not easy for us all to just put a smile on all the time. We have a lot of individual struggles that we go through, and even just the weight of being a student as well. It can be very overwhelming, where one professor thinks that their class is the only class you have, so they give you a ton of assignments and tests and stuff. So on the days when you feel like it's hard to put a smile on, that's okay. Ask God to be your strength in that way, and that He would still provide the opportunities for you. Alrighty, elevator pitch. So no, we're not going to get on the elevator, go up and down. That sounds like fun, but we're not going to do that. So anyways, this is just going to be a very simple introduction you have to a person. So it's most likely a person you've never met before, but this would be like when you're at the career fair, what you would say to somebody, or somebody else that you meet in public that you think could be a potential professional connection for you. So what does that look like? Well, you'll say your name if you haven't done that already. So who you are, simply. Your college year and major, what is it that you study? What are your internships maybe that you've had? You could throw that in there as well. Career interest, where do you want to work in the future? It doesn't have to be a specific company, but maybe just an idea of the type of business, the type of company that you'd like to be working at. And what's your passion and purpose? This is your explanation of why you're doing what you're doing and why you want to do what you will be doing. So what's your passion? What's your purpose? When you think about what is it that gets you fired up about life? What is it that gets you excited? I mean, I would hope a lot of us would say Jesus, but besides that, just with your career and what you're studying here, like you enjoy your major, so how can you put that into practical terms of what you want to do in the future and showing that you're interested in that? And then of course practice as well too. So I've got some more tips here for how to do the elevator pitch. So here are some key details to keep in mind of the elevator pitch. You need to be confident, concise, and not ramble. Because I would say, regardless of your personality type, if you're more of an extrovert, me, or if you're more of an introvert, it could be easy to ramble if you get distracted thinking, I don't know what to say, so you just keep going. Or maybe you're so excited that you say a lot of things and you kind of end up sharing your life story with this person you just met. So you have to have balance and you have to have boundaries with that. So it's not your life story. You should keep it focused on what you're doing now at Cedarville and what you want to do right after Cedarville. So you'll want to share, let me see, I'll give you an example. Hi, my name is Maria Castillo. I'm a senior linguistics major. I would love to be a foreign language educator for K-12 or maybe even college level. I believe that language education is not emphasized as much as it should be here in America, and learning a language can really expand a person's worldview and appreciation for other cultures. Something like that. So I stated my name, my major, what I'm studying, what I'm passionate about, and how I hope to impact people's lives in the future. So it could be something that you memorize, or it can just be something you say on the fly. As long as it includes the components on the previous slide, and as long as you don't get distracted and say more than you need to. On the next slide, I'm going to have a QR code for how you can specifically access this. Questions to ask an employer. I just pulled a few of my favorites here from the Canvas course. But in any question that you ask an employer or a professional connection, seek for their advice. Seek for their guidance in any area of your life that you think that they could be a helpful voice in. Do not straight up ask them for a job. That's not one of the questions that you would ask a person that you just meet. But have your questions be more focused towards their advice. Because if you ask somebody for a job, they're going to feel bad if they can't give you a job right away. And if somebody ends up saying oh, I can't help you in that area, then that builds a wall, and then there's not as much of an opportunity for connection there. But I would say pretty much any time you ask a person for advice, they'll tell you something. And then that means that there's an open opportunity for further connection with that person. You can also consider questions such as, how would you describe the culture of the organization? How can I develop professionally? Do you know any people in the field who could give me some pointers? What do you like most about working for your company? Things like that will further the conversation. Okay, here's the QR code if you'd like to get this on your phone. So this specifically goes to the questions that you could ask employers, but it also has information pertaining to career fair, such as career fair registration, some steps you can take in order to prepare for that. We have printable resources on there, how to make and upload your resume as well, and how to update your Handshake account and more. So it looks a lot like your other courses on Canvas. I would highly encourage you guys to take a look at this and explore what we have. So the follow through. It could be easy to forget the follow through, but hey, that's why we have Google Calendar and the Reminders app, right? So you just have this awesome conversation with a person, but you've got a busy rest of your day. Put a reminder in your phone, get in touch with so-and-so later this week, and then send them an email or a phone call, whatever you prefer. Be sure that you get the person's email address and phone number, because it's kind of hard to stay in touch and follow through if you don't have their contact info. So request their business card and then offer them yours if you have one. We can tell you how to make a business card if you'd like. Send them an email or a note expressing your gratitude, and then mention a topic that you discussed to show them that you cared and listened, because honestly, if they met you at a career fair, they might not remember who you are. But if you restate your name and then your year and your major and maybe mention a thing or two that you talked about with them, that will help refresh their memory as well of who you are. Add them to your list of connections like we talked about, having your Excel or Google Sheets or whatever you would use to keep track of the people. And then even if you don't end up working for this person, you can still seek their advice and professional connections as well. So maybe this person won't end up employing you, but they could connect you with someone else who could give you a lot of advice or offer you a future job or internship. You never know. And then also from Sweet Eliza here, she recommended to request books and resources from these professional connections to expand your knowledge, because it will help you to be more prepared and be more knowledgeable about the field. And then it also gives you an opportunity to further connect with this connection, and then you can discuss the book or the resource that you read with them. But the thing is, you have to make sure you read it. If you request a book or information from someone, then make sure you actually follow up and read it, and then you have a discussion with that person about the book that you read. And then, after everything's said and done, thank the Lord for the opportunity that you had to interact with these people. God was the one that gave you this opportunity to meet with the people. So even if you look cute, if you're charming, if you have a good outfit, like a nice smile, firm handshake, or you ask thoughtful questions, that's not what got you to where you're going to be. It was the Lord's favor that was using the situation, using you, using the person to His glory. So always remember to thank the Lord for answering your prayers, because I'm assuming you guys are praying about job opportunities, internships, and connections. And you know, maybe someday you might just want to go to the fair or farmer's market or even the mall. Lord, have me meet the person that you want me to meet. And it could be to share the gospel with them. It could be to talk about a future job opportunity. Who knows? It could be anything. So always leave the God gap. Do what you can. I tell people, do your best. Give God the rest. Leave room for Him to do what only He can do, and He will show up in ways that you can't even imagine for His glory.